Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Starladder Minor Qualifiers. It's Europe, and it's time to see if North can get it done in two. We've had a change in voices. You can hear mine. It's a little bit different than Zesh, that's for sure, but my name is Dinko. I'm going to be joined by Mitch for the rest of this, and we're straight into the pistol. It's going to be Dust 2, North looking strong.
Does that mean I have to speak with a German accent now? Is that how this works? Is there like a
well,
quota?
It has to be at least one German, yeah.
Damn it. Alright. Is that going to be?
No,
Four of them.
Well, I mean, it's an attempt, Mitch.
It was. I tried. I think Zesh will be happy with my attempt.
Yes. It also might be grossly offensive to the rest of the Germans, but we are going to get into this one. It's going to be no chance making their way towards the B bomb site. It is going to be a relatively heavy setup, although it will be a pick immediately from Yugi. Gade going to get dropped in reply, although Izzy's doing a good job already inside of this B bomb site. Finally, the rest of no chance will arrive, and it's into a 3v3.
This is a strategy we've seen a couple of times in the pistol, is send that one player down long, cause the distraction, drag the B players out of position, or at least catch them off guard. But North actually recover pretty well into the 3v3, and as the retake of tunnels goes underway, you've got one player, Sticko, up close and personal. He gets 1 and 2 actually on the back of it, and so it's all on to Kirby. Caught out in the open, they know exactly where he is, and at this point, I mean, he's got a kit, he's up against Glocks. It's not on a P250, it's not going to be very easy to win these fights. They hit him once in the body, and he's completely out of there, aiming up at the sky. And it's going to be Sticko to follow through with a 4K in the pistol round. Now, one thing you might not know, Dingo, the names, they switched them around because they were rocking Face It. So over on the No Chance side, just to remind Chad as well, Space Cadet up the top there is Sticko, and wait for this, right? This is perfect. Huttelia, it's only about 50% wrong, is Zen.
Okay. I always hit that. Anyway, Sticko, what a run from him. 4-0. Gets the quad kill, saves no chances, and living up to, actually not living up to their name. And we'll be straight up push here, stack with a pistol in towards long, no chance get it done. Immediately all the kills come through, and Gade is into a 1v5. This again should be an easy one for no chance. Gade should really have no other chances other than death. That'll be the Mac 10 coming around the corner. 2-0 for no chance.
Yeah, indeed, they're starting to pull north of their opponents. And with all 5 players surviving, now they can play a little bit of a bonus round. We've seen this from them multiple times. As a matter of fact, Zen could even take an AK and it wouldn't cause too much of a deficit of economy. But it looks like he's just going to be sticking with the Mac 10 for now. North overall, at this point, they've suffered losses in all 3 pistol rounds so far, although that didn't affect them too heavily in the previous map, still managing to take it. But it was a lot closer than expected as No Chance pulled it 16-13 and didn't quite fall flat as they were predicted to.
Well, coming into this one, North, they do have a lack of utility, but they have got the weapons in play. Everyone with a rifle, no defuse kit to work with on North, but the Danes will try and get it done nevertheless. Well, if they're good enough with their rifles, they might not even need the kits. That's the plan, at least. And the lack of utility. So it really comes down to winning the duels, and Dust 2 is a map that's all about winning the duels, so we'll see if North can pull it off. That smoke from Zen will, I love this smoke, Mitch. It's just a little bit strange. It kind of like sticks inside the door, but what it does is allows the smoke to land a little bit higher up on the door. You can cross over safely towards the boxes. You can spot the feet from afar as well.
Get yourself up on top of the boxes too short without being seen, as opposed to a lower down smoke, which allows them to peek over it and catch you up on top of that wall. It's a nice one. No Chance don't do a whole lot with it, as they don't take short control.
That's going to be very long, actually.
Yeah, indeed, they push all the way up by a long. Thomas manages to find one, but he's going to be cut down, crossing to the bomb site, or crossing up on top of it. Although the bomb is there, it has very little opportunity. You're looking towards Zen to try and catch them off guard. As Gade goes down, it's a 3v3, but No Chance still have to get a bomb to the bomb site. They've abandoned A, this time rotating back over to B. That means Zen has to hold that. Yeah. Oh no, faking the rotation. I like it.
So they're trying to fake the rotation, trying to go back towards B. Zen's job here is to just stay alive, delay as long as possible. They've rotated every single player away from the A bomb site, and this is perfect. No chance to get the bomb over towards A easily here, and Zen has done a great job at just staying alive. And KRB has found out that the rest of the play is coming in towards the A bomb site, and so North will have to try and retake. Yugi still preoccupied with Zen, knowing that as soon as he turns his back, Zen will peek in, and that's exactly what will happen. Yugi gets picked apart. Now it's AZ and KRB left alone. They're on the bomb site itself with the time ticking. This is going to be very difficult for North with no kit, no utility. Both players extremely low. I think no chance. It's fair to say they've got this one.
I think it is indeed, and especially playing this as a bonus round, this has worked out so well for them. There's weapons to be retrieved, another towards the ramp. But Zen obviously not able to go and get that as he's still hunting down with that Mac 10 sitting towards the B bomb site. They don't know that there's a player up close and middle though, so Kierby could catch a couple of them off guard. As below the wall, he doesn't catch an angle, unfortunately. Carrying this M4 forward is going to be priority number 1, as it's pretty much the only weapon North have to work with coming into this round. And so far, they haven't been the kind of team to make over-aggressive economic decisions. So a few pistols, one, maybe a piece of armor on Yugi would be the most I'd expect to see coming through. Although, even still, he would probably like to save over a little bit of cash if he's rolling for the op.
Yeah, well, North is an interesting team at the minute. Obviously, they've gone under new leadership changes. They brought Yugi into the team, replacing Katie, and Valde has taken over the in-game leadership role. And they did look pretty good at ECS. I mean, they did well, but look at that. Immediately 2 kills coming in from Crystal. That dog able to get Valde. That'll be a good start from No Chance immediately upon asking. And Yugi will get 1 before getting traded. And this has been a very quick run. A massacre coming in from No Chance. Here, the last man standing. And that'll be the kill from Zen to clear it up. 4-0 here for No Chance. As we bring it back to sort of talking about the leadership here on North. Valde coming into the team. They did look pretty good at ECS. You know, they played pretty well. I think the only sort of criticism they were getting from pundits of the game, like Sponge, they were kind of talking about how perhaps North went straight into executes a little bit too much. They didn't, on the T sides, were a little bit weak in terms of taking map control. I'm looking forward to seeing if they can get a CT lead, though, because, you know, if they have a weak T side, that's definitely going to be a big problem moving forward.
For sure, and we actually saw that from them in the previous map. They were very head first lunging into rounds, and so they were caught off guard a lot of the time by No Chance when they had those more sticky setups. This one is not going to go too well for Hotelea. Zen, as he gets taken down in middle. Easy with a quick headshot on the pixel angle. The nade goes over. Oh, the spam is actually deadly. Kierby takes quite a lot of damage. He just has to bail on out of there, putting a man advantage over into favor for No Chance. Now, Thomas is one of the players that we highlighted from No Chance in general on the terrorist side. He is getting off to a pretty good start, but things are starting to go back to normality, where Michael Lele was one of the strongest fraggers for them in the previous map. Now we're seeing Zen back up there where we're used to seeing him, and Thomas again coming through in the openings for this team, but he's instantly traded out.
Yeah, Yugi, Molotov will force him off the A bomb site. There's an advantage here for North to work with, but No Chance. They're going to tuck up tail, run away from short. They want to get back in and try and test the waters elsewhere. But with 55 seconds left, Geared has not left this B bomb site. He is still looking down the barrel. Michael Lele looks to try and peek in towards the B bomb site itself. Crystal edging his way towards Valde, who will rattle off a shot. Eventually will take that kill as well. And now it's a 2-man advantage for North to work with. No Chance this might be a bit of a problem for them, as Yugi still locking down that A site. Just sitting here, biding their time. North will wait for No Chance to come to them, and they'll walk right into their crosshairs, and this will be the first for North.
Well, Michael Lele's got 20 seconds left. You know, think he could pull it off with the bomb on the other side of the map. If he runs with his knife out, gets there. But unfortunately, this map's a little bit too 3D. He'd prefer if it was flat, more realistic. But as you look towards a 1v4, obviously saving over that AWP is the best chance he has. As any other theories on how you're going to win the round definitely won't go down too well.
No. I don't think there was a world in which Michael Lele won that unless everyone from North decided to just drop like flies. That happened a couple of times actually today in the CIS minor qualifiers. We've seen a lot of the teams internet just crashed. They all just randomly died. Oh. Yeah, it was so weird. There was so many clutches that were happening, and it'd be like a 1v3. They'd pulling it off, and then 3 players would just randomly stop walking. And I just wonder what the hell happened. And then we'd have to replay the run again. It's so weird.
Really, even after damage was dealt?
Well, yeah. I don't know. They agreed to it, so.
Oh, fair enough. That's very admirable.
It is. They ended up losing, I think. So.
Oh well. I bet they won't be admirable again.
Yeah, they learned the lesson. Nice guys never win.
Exactly.
And that's why Thomas is hitting the floor.
Thomas is actually doing really well for opening duels. He's 2 for 0 right now on No Chance. This is something we saw from him. The early aggression is something we've seen from him a lot. In the previous map, he was like 2 for 6, coming in about 20 rounds in. So I think one of the differences that No Chance are facing here, they usually play against pretty bad opponents compared to the likes of North, who aren't punishing their aggression quite as heavily, and Thomas has more room to open it up, especially as he used to be playing within the UK scene quite a lot. But now as you come up against a team like North, this is a whole different challenge, because these guys are going to punish you every single time that you try to get just that little bit too aggressive. You make that small peak that you shouldn't have, they will take you down, or at least light you up heavily for it.
Well, No Chance. They're going to start bringing their attentions up towards short. Utility is going to go over the top. I'll leave one player over towards long. That is Yugi holding this angle. He's done a stellar job so far, but this smoke will cover off his vision, sever the information flow. As the rest of the push coming through, Valde coming in with a big fight. Michael Lele turns around, but it's Valde to pick it up. The A-bomb site is under a hell of a lot of pressure, but no chance. It might just be picked apart before they can get much done. Bomb planted. It will be a kill from Sticker onto Valde, but Yugi's there for the trade. Is he able to get it done as well? And it's a cleanup from North. They make it happen.
And they had such a good read there. Once they found the
Wow.
once they found the player on short, they knew instantly it was going to be a short plant. Drop the nade, drop the Molotov. Crystal was down to 20 HP. And really, again, this is something that I feel like no chance, since this is some interesting aim training there from Gate. When you look towards no chance, since they've picked up Thomas, they've been so heavily reliant on his aggression, on his early openings towards rounds, and that's just not coming through for them right now. In this series in general, and I feel like that was one of the major factors that led to North taking the previous map, where they did look a little bit shaky, specifically on the terrorist side, where you couldn't see no chance having the same kind of performance when they swap over, because their T-sides are so based around something that North are happy to counter. Another thing that we saw from North was a really weak start for Gade on the counter-terrorist side. He was playing really badly. And then when we went over to the next half, when he was on the T side and had that extra little bit of freedom, he was dominating. I think he might have still finished negative, if I remember correctly, but the comeback he made in half number 2 was phenomenal and far surpassed, or far made up for what happened previously. I think hopefully we'll see the same from him again, because he's 0 for 4 right now, not having too much fun early on the CT side.
Well, at this point, North, you can see the sort of confidence starting to rise in the roster. You see sort of how they won that last one very cleanly. They start to think that they're in control of this one. It's time for no chance to try and stop that from happening. Try and stop North from building up that momentum. Dust 2 is a map where if you have the momentum, it can be very easy to win round after round, because it's such a momentum-based map. So you win one, you get a sort of snowball effect, and it starts to build up until you have a lovely snowman, Mitch.
I do love a lovely snowman. I have to say, I'm impartial.
I do like to, I mean, the only thing that can really stop a snowman is like a giant blowtorch and warm weather and no snow. So there's quite a few things that can counter the snowball.
Acid as well, I assume. We want to get into the more...
Okay, scientific side of things, but it's going to be easy. Taking away Michael Lele. And it'll be the man advantage for North early here onto the defense of B. Not going to go out for the cross. It's short. Flashbang over the top. Molotov ready to go on in as well. And here comes the A execute. Thomas is going to be the late flank. We see this quite often. This is going to be such an impactful play, but the timing is just not quite right. And so Valde holds for it. The bomb can get planted. And it still is the two-man advantage for North. But the bomb planted gives no chance. A chance, as that's a great kill coming through by Zen. Traded back by Valde. And KRB is there as well. Last man alive is Crystal. You know, he's not exactly known for his top-tier individual ability, but he will be finished off. KRB gets it, and a defuse through for North.
You can sort of see the logic if it was a 1v1 there of running up with the knife out, that they would spot him, instantly pull off the defuse, start shooting, he gets away. You've delayed a little bit of extra time. But sadly, when there's two other players to hold down that angle and they don't have to be conscious of anywhere else but short, you're not quite going to reach the same levels of success with that play. Although, you gotta say for Crystal, he had a phenomenal clutch. I think it was a 1v3, although there was a team kill involved. But a 1v3 over on Mirage, if I remember correctly, could have been... I think he might have gotten 4 kills in the round. We saw him definitely having a pretty good performance early on.
Oh, wow. Oh. Again, early advantages just keep coming in for North. AZ starts it off with the AWP. It's weird that they've got the double up setup. AZ rocking it with alongside Yugi. It's pretty cool to see, though. He's having a lot of impact with it. And that'll be the two-man advantage for the CT side. No chance will leave the bomb towards top middle. One a little bit further up towards short. And one in the pit here, Crystal. At this point, no chance. You're going to have to try and fight back. Trying to find some edge into this match to give them some hope into round number 8. Slower approach this time from No Chance. They'll start to take their time. They have Crystal inside of the pit. He has got the smoke. They'll go up close. Valde on the car. That smoke will allow Crystal to get very close indeed, while also just tunnel visioning one angle. It's very important as well with 35 seconds that No Chance get as close as possible to the bomb site. Crystal's going to be on the other end of it. Valde will lose his head. Reload comes in from Crystal, uses the smoke as cover yet again. And Sticko, he'll jump over the smoke. He wants to get right in towards the side. They've locked Azy into the back. It's back into a 3v3. They played this well, No Chance. And this looks good for them. But Gerby just moving through short on his own. Able to slither away with a kill on the Sticko. And now Michael and Crystal are left with a tall task of making this happen. The flashbang in. Michael doesn't know he's burning. Peeks out and gets one kill before getting traded by Gerby. So it's all on Crystal. The 1v2 has to happen. And Gid, he'll slive through the smoke. And that will be another run on the board for North. It'll be 4 apiece for the two teams. And really, North there just playing with the smokes. There was no real, setup there. No real retake strategy. I think it was just basically walk through the smoke. They take the aim fights and they win them all.
You can afford to make that when you're this far ahead, I suppose. At this point, 4-4, it's a situation where No Chance is definitely starting to deteriorate. You're on the map pick of North, so you do expect it to be significantly better T-sides than what we saw over on the previous. And that said, there wasn't anything particularly wrong other than the lack of information in general that they got for themselves, whether it be via map control or just general info gathering before they went straight in for peaks. Or straight in for smoke executes. That's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Sneakers is hoping he can go through the door. I think we've seen that a lot in the Southeast Asia minor qualifier.
Different ball game to do it versus North.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Just slightly.
Yeah, these guys are noobs. I'm just gonna rush mid. It'll work. Don't worry. Bit of a two-dimensional approach to the round. Some people like it that way. Those people have 1 kill.
Well, some people do like that in this world, Mitch. It is going to be low HP on Thomas. Michael on 16 HP. Michael trying to play with a bit of a gap. He will start to make his way up short. Tapping away. There's the kill on the KRB. Looks back towards the ramp and gets another. Michael starting to pull this one back. Still a long road to go. Valde still towards long, and Michael wants to take this fight. He's going to pull the bomb out and try and get that plan. There's some extra cash in the bank, at least for No Chance. Valde looks onto the site, and that's well played. Valde will pick up the headshot. The Molotov came in and locked him in the site. And that will be another round for North. They will take the lead again.
That was a really nice play. Locking him in with the Molotov. I mean, there was nowhere he could go other than right into the sights of Valde. And as we look towards a 5-4 scoreline now, North clocking up consecutive rounds. This is the thing, anybody can win pistol rounds. You follow it through with 1 buy, but then North start to consistently lock you out. And again, this is... when you're winning out early rounds, pistols as well, you expect to have a close scoreline on the half, just because it gives you that buffer to play with. But that doesn't make the match any less dominant. North right now, I definitely wouldn't describe them as struggling coming into the buy rounds. And again, No Chance are able to afford full utility, full rifles coming into this round. At least on the majority players, they've got full util. Young fat dog Thomas hasn't been able to afford any.
I literally didn't see that in his name, but I was just like, what? What are you doing?
So apparently it's because it's via Faceit.
Yeah,
So
I know, but
I mean, they could definitely get them
changed.
changed. It's a weird one.
Well, I don't
Oh,
mind.
you thought I was just going in on him?
I thought you were just going in on
No,
Thomas.
no, Thomas is a lovely guy. I wouldn't
Thomas
wouldn't attack him like that. He absolutely
well,
can.
he's going to stand inside of the pit. It's going to be the kill. A's able to pick one up as well. And this is starting to look rather decent, but the T side have pulled it back. No Chance. Again, standard chance. As it is Sticko towards long with Michael moving up close. They'll clear the car. It's completely empty with a cross smoke coming in for CT. Because it's so wide, you actually have to use 2 smokes to make sure that there's no gaps in it. But it doesn't really matter because Gerby, what a spray! Picks up both Michael and Sticko. Zen has to pull it off. The 1v3 needs to happen. He's got the first kill. He drops in towards CT. Starts to pull himself back through the smoke. And he'll look in towards the side itself. He has got a Molotov in play. The bomb still in his hand, so that's the important part. 30 seconds to play with. That's actually quite a lot of time, but the problem is Gade is coming in back from long. He can start to flank upon this. He's going through CT Zen, but he's been caught. The vision is there for Gid. He'll be able to take the kill. And you can see North just have this sort of playstyle where they're showing that they're not scared. They're playing very confidently indeed. They're pushing forward. They're just taking the fights, as many as possible. And they've won pretty much every fight they've taken over the last couple of runs. You know, every time they've gone aggressive or done the retake, it's been pretty successful. No Chance, they're pretty decent at the opening kills, but when it comes to crunch time, they haven't been able to do it a couple of times.
That's the thing for No Chance, right? They are finding themselves with the ability to close in on the bomb site, but a lot of it has seen them lose those opening duels since the last kind of 5 or 6 rounds. They get trades afterwards, but really the fact that North are able to pull themselves even into even situations, eventually you do expect those huge individual plays to come through, like we saw in the previous round.
Yeah.
And that's something that's always lurking for No Chance. Like right now, again, you're going to see even situation, but then Valda pulls it back. Man advantage in play. No Chance again find themselves on the back foot. Traded back. 3 versus 3. But
yeah,
they have no information at this point. They have to kind of gamble towards a bomb site. They haven't got utility to poke and prod towards areas, especially knowing that there's ops in play. So they're likely to run into this B setup. But Yugi has actually abandoned it and started to move down towards middle.
Yeah, this is definitely the right call because they have gear close by. They can get the information immediately. And he's actually going to go for the push. Michael Ailey has this. Surely he's able to pick it up. It's actually Gid who wins that battle. That's incredible. Gid walks in through tunnels. Michael Ailey scoped in. And he still loses the fight. Yugi will be able to hold off mid easily as well. Zen walks right into him. 7-4 for North. Starting to look really solid at this point. 11-7 on KRB. He's definitely starting to show up. And a sort of question that comes into my head that I like to think about is No Chance are a team filled with a lot of different nationalities and probably personality as well. But you look over at North, you know, they're all from Denmark. They've all grew up in the same culture. They're all speaking the same language. Perhaps there's a communication there and a bit more chemistry in the roster. I'm sort of theory crafting at this point, but you'd assume so. I mean, all the stars align in that sense.
And for sure, I mean, communication issues are sure to come through as well if you're looking at a very mixed nationality lineup with lots of different base languages to work around.
Yeah.
I mean, Thomas is probably one of the most comfortable players there, just the fact that the language is English and he speaks it, so he's going to have a much easier time working around that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
this
is, yeah, the grenade doesn't really amount to too much. There's a little bit off the top of Crystal. A little bit of a haircut. Here comes the execute in towards the A-bomb site. Flashbang going to go over the top. Still utility left in the ranks of No Chance as they start their approach in towards the site. Smoke will come in. They're just waiting here. North are just biding their time, knowing the execute eventually will come through. It's been the standard A hit for No Chance time and time again. They just want to get this bomb plant as Crystal's already close by, taking the fight on ramp, but AZ able to pick that up. Now it's Sticko, his chance to shine. He won't pick away at AZ. Bomb will get planted. And now it's a 4v4. Flash will go up into the air. Kjærby starts to wrap behind. The Atlanta on top of Sticko. The kill's there from Kjærby, but the bomb plant is in for No Chance. They'll be rather happy with that. With Michael Ailey, last man standing, picked apart again. North keep most of their players alive. That's great for the economy. They'll build up so much cash on the CT side, but also No Chance getting that bomb plant will be very happy about getting the cash.
They will be, but they won't be happy about only having the first 4 rounds under their belt. And they're being completely locked out of the half at this point, as North have so much money to work with. Yes, No Chance get a little bit of extra cash to work around, but even when they've had these full buys out, they haven't been able to come out on top in situations that have started to shape up well for them. They lose the opening duel, instantly traded. They lose a fight on B, instantly traded. You're down to a 3v3, but then you see them just stagnate. Now, there was a lack of utility coming into that 3 versus 3, and if they had a little bit more, perhaps you would have seen them group up and hit a site. The knowledge that there were multiple ops in play probably prevented them from just straight peeking as a 3-man, especially towards tunnels on B, but they lacked any direction. Here's Thomas with another opening kill though. Gade manages to return one onto Crystal. Inside the smoke, drops a flashbang. He's going to push on through. Here's the steps, catches Hostelier off. A Zen is down. It's into a 2 versus 3. And No Chance, while they're behind, they should be able to get a bomb plant in, and the flank is coming through. Michael Lele doesn't even know it, but he's cut off Valda. Problem is, throwing that Molotov has given away that information, and they haven't stuck the bomb plant either.
Oh, nice shot from Michael Ailey in the tunnels, though. Bomb plant has not come through for No Chance. They're going to have to try and get that, but it's into a 2v2, so it's much more winnable. Stiko's going to carry it over and get the bomb plant through. This retake needs to come in from North. This is the first time they've had the sweat in quite some time. They're going to try and come through. Michael Ailey will hide behind the cart. The utility being used up over the top. They're ready to go on in. And it is Stiko just underneath the window. Peeks out towards tunnel, spots one, just doesn't want to overextend, wants to stay alive, and that's the important factor. He's done damage on the Caribou. Oh no, great Molotov and Caribou though. That'll get rid of Stiko. Last man standing is Michael Lele in behind the car. I think they know where he is as well. They have an inkling that he could be there. Not 100% sure, but now they know. Michael Lele doing the damage, staying alive, and he's got the kill on Yugi. That should be enough. Caribou solo, no chance, no time, and it will be another run on the board for the T side. Caribou will fall to the bomb as well, and that will be it. 5 on the board for no chance. A good job done there by Michael Lele.
Finding all 5 kills really puts North on the back foot. They have so little to work with after this round. There is still going to be a force buy though if they lose it, because it will be coming up to the finale. But it's still, look at the damage from a team that had so much stability and so much control financially. Now their fiscal situation is starting to look like Greece. They've got nothing to work with at all. They're going to have to work with the scraps if they lose this. No chance in the same kind of boat, but it's at least a little bit better in terms of the loss bonus they'd receive.
Well, grenade goes through to long. That's going to prevent players from getting on through that early. Valde thinks twice about going in there. He'll sit back a little bit more passively, but look at this from AZ. He wants to find this opening kill, playing close towards the tunnel. They're going to start to come on through. No chance. Multiple players about to come on in. It's Crystal picking up AZ. And it's going to be spray from Thomas as well. AZ and Caribou, they fall early and no chance. They've got the 2-man advantage. Gid, the flashbang's in from Yugi. It's allowing the kills to come in. And Gid has got 2. Michael Lele. Is it time to step up yet again? The man advantage is there for the T side. Yugi holds the cross, but they've got safely across to the B bomb site. Thomas will get the plant in. The digits punch through. And Valde and Yugi, do they consider saving at this point? There isn't money left in the bank for North, and this retake is going to be so difficult.
Doesn't look like the save has been taken into consideration. Oh no! The flank coming through from Thomas. Well timed on the aggression this time. The AUG. Well, the game's broken. He's smashing E as hard as he could, but he couldn't pick that AUG up.
Sometimes when that happens, you just want to like literally die. It's better sometimes to just drop your weapon and run over the top of it. I think that's probably the most effective way of doing that.
Indeed. But he trusted in the game.
He trusted the game.
That's what you get.
It's cruel mistress, Mitch.
This could actually be a pretty good half for no chance, all things considered. Despite a pretty weak mid-half performance, they've started to pull it back a little bit. But the fact that North are on a really low buy, 2 scouts, a UMP, and 2 pistols, they shouldn't really be losing this, which would put them over to an 8-7 scoreline, and that would be phenomenal for no chance.
Indeed, it would. I mean, considering the start that they could have had as well, you know, the start that North started to bring into it, it started to look very one-sided. North looked like they were building up a lot of momentum, but no chance. These last couple of rounds have looked very good. They still have a fight here in them. They take 7 on Dust 2. Now, this is a team that has a lot of skill, has a lot of experience as well on a couple of these players. Some newer ones, like Thomas, have been brought into the team from the UK scene. But again, you're starting to see the talent that this guy has as well. So no chance, not a team that lacks in the firepower department. And North could definitely be susceptible to some upsets, as Thomas will get the opening kill here on the Valde. That'll be the man advantage for no chance to work with.
Man advantage to work with, and indeed the weaponry advantage. Lots of util, and they've dragged full rotations towards A with this aggression. Thomas does go down, but even with... Oh no! Crystal walks through mid by himself. You can't spread out that much. Now man advantage in favor for North, but retaking with 2 scouts won't be ideal. Luckily they're able to pick up a couple of weapons for the fallen players. As the fight goes in, I mean, Kierby just barreling towards the bomb site by himself. Not ideal. Now the bomb plant can go down, and in an even 3v3 situation... It's no chance that look better, but the fact that they've got all the control towards this site and such heavy choke points to hold.
Zen holds underneath the window. North trying to find anything. They know there's a player there. Unfortunately cannot. Oh, what a shot from AZ. Looking for a follow-up on the Michael Ailey as well. But it's geared through the window. Michael Ailey is goosed up. He'll be finished off by Gid. That's the triple kill. The defuse was coming through. It'll be 9 seconds to half from North. What a retake. Gid with 3, AZ with 2, with some nutty shots there on the entries.
We talked about Gade having a slow performance earlier on the counter-terrorist side. Well, he certainly recovered it towards the end of this, finishing off 12 for 7 and pretty much finishing off a lot of the hope for No Chance. That round really should have went their way. Finding all the access towards B, but Thomas continues to aggress on A, further selling the fake. I can certainly see the justification there. But then to send Crystal when you know that you're up against a weaker buy, straight through middle just to get butchered. Then it's down to a 3v3 and they just get picked apart with limited time left.
Yeah.
With the superior weapons as well. That's big warning signs going out. And North now coming into the pistol round. If they find this, it'll be their first pistol round win in this entire best of 3. Then they should be on the home stretch, considering they're coming onto their T side of their map pick.
Yeah, well, this pistol, incredibly important for both teams. North, the chance of extending their lead. No chance for staying in the second half, at the start of it at least. And there's going to be a little bit of utility in play for Gid. Quite a lot of damage done onto the North players early. AZ on 7 HP, Caribbean on 5. And it'll be the smoke execute coming in, crossing off CT. Multiple players start their approach on in, and North, most of their players want to get close up to the bomb site. They've actually gone past. Thomas is close to landing the shot, so he gets one onto the low HP players. He'll definitely get up a kill here. And there is Crystal starting things off. Kirby will fall, but Valdi and AZ, they answer back. Michael Lele hides behind the corner. Peeks out and finds Valdi. Gets info, there's more on the bomb site itself. And that's where Yugi will strike into action. The headshot comes through the box onto Michael Lele, and it's back into a 2v2 as Sticko walking back into the site. Is 2 kills more for him. AZ locked in the car. Crystal will finish it off, and no chance to find the pistol.
Stylish way to finish it off for Crystal there. Just spamming through the window with the one bullet, turning away instantly. He's like, yeah, he's dead. Don't worry. 9-7. It's a good round for No Chance to win. They've now found all 4 pistol rounds. And so far they've been following through on the follow-ups. Let's see if they can do it this time as they come in with a couple SMGs, a Scout, and a FAMAS. North, on the other hand, they actually go with the Force Buy later on. I was going to say this should be an easy round for No Chance. But now with that Force Buy in play for North, I'm starting to get a little bit worried. 3 Deagles, and with everybody having the armor to work with, despite head armor, no head armor on AZ and Kirby, they're up against the Scout, the 3 SMGs. It gives them a pretty decent chance, considering they can take ranged fights with those Deags.
Yeah. This is going to be one for North that might actually have some potency to it. Flashbang going to go through. Valde takes the initial damage, dropped to 27 HP. Crystal will receive some. And North start to pressure it in towards the short side of the map. Stick up, will smoke off short. And the rest of North will slow the play here. Smoke coming in for CT cross. Flashbang will go through the mid doors. At this point, North just wanting to make sure they control short for as long as possible. They want to make sure every piece of the puzzle is in the correct position. The smoke comes in for short. The utility towards the A bomb site. They'll use every piece of it possible. The flashbangs are the only things that remain as they charge on in. It has to be a good haul here from No Chance. Thomas gets the info, they're close. MP9 lines up 2. Looks for a little bit more here as North come in with the last 3 remaining players. Michael Lele will receive some damage, but it's an absolute iron hold here from the CT side. Not a single kill will be found by North, and No Chance win the round they should.
Indeed they do, following it through once again. North not getting on too well in these pistols in general. Now as they come down to what will be once more basically a pistol round one run for them, except without armor on anybody. P250s times 3. Gade can afford to buy one up as well if he wants to. Oh, he wants the Deagle. And Yugi not taking any, of course, no surprises there. 9-8. It's a scoreline that's not terrible for North, especially as they lost out both pistols. You can definitely see things getting a lot further out of control. No Chance at plenty of rounds that they could have closed out as well, so
yeah,
they're going to be pretty happy with the scoreline they're currently on. Should be tied up 9-9, and then the real fight comes when they've got all of that money. They're hoping to get a bomb plant alongside it just to make that buy go a little bit more smoothly.
Yeah, they'll have some, extra facets to work with in terms of utility. But look at this big flank coming in as well. Crystal coming in from behind might find himself a nasty couple of kills onto these low players. There's no Kevlar. The MP9 will definitely pick up quite a bit of cash. He hasn't walked around the corner just yet, and currently waiting for an aggressive player is AZ. The rest of North starting to slow their way up towards A long. Taking a look at the EU minor close qualifier, we've got some pretty solid teams in here. This is going to be such a difficult task for a lot of these teams that we'll probably just try to gather some experience against some of the better teams at this point. But here comes the push on in. It's going to be North coming in with the pistols. Damage down by Thomas, Michael Lele, Sticko assisting each other and taking one player down, leaving AZ on his own, and Crystal with the patience play finally pulls off the flank. 9-9, the scoreline again, even Mitch here, and no chance. They look to be fighting here on Dust 2.
They definitely are fighting early on, and now we're going to see more than likely the bonus played out from them again. This is something we saw from them over in the first map, where they fight for the 4th round with just whatever they can muster. There's a big reason that they lost the 4th round last time. So but it's not too bad. Like, if you lose this, as long as you find a couple of kills, you do all that damage to the enemy economy, and it's cost you nothing. So it's definitely not the worst. Walking into AZ, who has an SG just trained, is probably not the way to win the round.
Yeah.
Is Michael Lele going to... Yep. He's being lit up. His head visible. I'm getting very worried. Nade in as well. That does nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't quite reach its mark, although North have walked away with that 2-man advantage. No chance. The only things that are left are the 2 MP9s and a FAMAS in the hands of Sticko. It'll be the smoke to the crosshairs. Gid will pick up Sticko. 3-man advantage for North. Thomas, this has to be a play. You have to go for the play here. Runs right through the smoke. Multiple players in front of him. He gets 2. Can he get a 3rd? No, as KRB holds off from the mid doors. It'll be another round on the board for North, who reclaim the lead and hit double figures first. I mean, if you're AZ, you've been gifted 2 early kills there. And that pretty much made the round impossible for no chance.
Thomas right now is on a complete turnaround versus the previous map. He was 2 for 6 in opening kills around this time. Now he's 6 for 3. Figuring out North a little bit more, perhaps. Not only that, but obviously top fragging over on that side with Sticko right behind him. And we said that things were starting to return to normality with Zen stepping it up, but he's certainly quieted down in the last 10 rounds or so. AZ again opening it up for North. But the shutdown comes straight away. Caught with utility out. Zen's able to take 2. Putting them back ahead, although it's quickly traded back by Yugi. It does still look decent for North, considering the fact that they've got that AWP trained in, though. No chance pull it back. Oh, yeah. Man, it's just going to be up trades, back and forth. The op on B finds one, op on middle for Yugi. They have no idea where Thomas is, which is at least a small bonus, but they've got Michael Lele's position honed in on.
Just over a minute left to play with here, North. They're going to be bringing the bomb back over towards A long, and Yugi will be seen here on short. Flashbang over the top. Molotov will hit in towards the bomb site itself to clear that, but Thomas is actually playing a little more off to the left from long. This is an angle you will check as an all-pro. They have no smoke to cover it off, so you will have to be aware. But Gid, doesn't even matter. He's coming in from long. He'll pick off Thomas. And Michael Lele, he'll be left here into the 1v2. Thomas was so tunnel-visioned on the A-bomb side itself that he completely forgot about A-long. And Michael Lele will be dropped by Yugi. 3 kills for him in the round, and North will hit 11. This is definitely starting to look a little bit better for North.
And this is how it's kind of played out on a consistent basis. Early half goes towards no chance, then North stomp out in the buy rounds, and no chance maybe get a little bit done towards the end as they finally start to figure out what their opponents are going with. But it's not going to be good enough for no chance. We need to see massive changes in how things are being approached in this round. We'll see a massive change, but probably not for the better, as they don't really have any hardware to work with. A couple of pistols, their nades already deployed, not seeing any damage from those. And so no chance at this point. This round should see their namesake for them. USB spamming away, upgraded to a 5-7. We'll see if there's a spam that can connect. Doesn't look like it with Valda taking Crystal. Bit of an awkward spray. It's through the wall that he eventually finds the shot, but it works.
Yeah, this is a relatively easy run again for North. Not too much of a problem coming their way. Thomas does have an AK. Perhaps he can show us something. Valdi about to move through the window. Flashback goes through. And what a shot from Yugi. Right through the door, connects. 12-9. North 4 runs away from taking the series 2-0. we take a look at the teams here. And no chance to a team in this EU qualifier along the likes of Sprout. You know, you've got teams like Windigo in here. Some teams that are relatively unknown, not unknown, but relatively inexperienced. They don't go to the big events that often, and this is a good chance for them to sort of start to play against the better teams. And something I've also just kind of realized is Team Liquid, right? They've got to play against a lot of these teams in the next week against them in the GG Bet Cologne qualifiers to even get a spot at ESL1 Cologne. So they're probably going to be looking at these matches and sort of trying to figure out what they're going to do against these teams. It gives them a little bit of a sample pool to look at. And it will be a faster play from AZ, opening up that B bomb site. It'll be into a 4v4 as Yugi will hold off the mid door cross. Michael Ailey, is he about to walk into it again, Mitch? He has. Man advantage for North.
It's not a nice spot to be in, just continuously walking into crosshairs as Valda pulls back another. It's no chance to try and come back into a 2v4. A retake on B is difficult to pull off even in even numbers, and never mind when they have 2 extra men to expend. As North claim themselves the round, no chance going in for a save. This is something for like a point of reflection, I suppose. Like, there is the lower bracket to go down to where no chance will most likely make it. And I think that was kind of expected coming into this. They'll play the loser of Windigo versus Ancient. I wouldn't really give them favor against either of those teams either.
Not an easy game.
No, for sure it won't be. Maybe if they had like a Nordavin.
Yeah, but even at that,
magnitude.
you know, there's barely any easy games in the EU qualifier. That's the thing; it's completely stacked. Like, you have your invited teams, yeah, like Big, Crazy, Heroic, North, Optic, Windigo, Fnatic, Mod Sports. And then the qualified teams are still excellent. You know, you got No Chance, Sprout, Gamer Legion, Magnitude, Nordavin, Trick, Ancient, and virtus.pro. You know, there's a couple of weaker names in there, but obviously, you take a look at the invited teams, they're so solid. It'd be hard to see like those guys not making it. On paper, you'd expect to see all the invited teams make it and none of the qualifiers make it, but we'll have to see.
So one of the things, actually, just talking about a match earlier, Crazy are coming up against Heroic tomorrow, I think. And that's a pretty interesting lineup because they've kind of been messed around a little bit. Letney, Hunter, Auden, Esperanto, Nexa. We've seen them in a couple different teams kind of floating around, changing lineups. So I'm curious to see how they get on in this qualifier in general.
Well, yeah, well, this team's been playing excellently, really, right? They started to really look good. I think they were the team that put my spots out, and the reason my spots are even in this qualifier, you know, like in the minor back at IM Katowice, this crazy team, or Valiants back then, were the team that ended up pulling the upset against my sports and making them go back to the qualifier stage. Really, the reason we see this My Sports roster at all, really, because if they had the roster lock and they had the spot, the major spots, they probably wouldn't have been able to, you know, change the roster with Sunny, Chris J, etc.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of Michael Ayler's position right now. Completely cut off by those smokes. He's got a PT of 50 though, so the fact that they were jumping down on top of him certainly gave him some form of an edge as he took them down. Nice trade there. As Gade goes down, we're seeing a man advantage in favor over towards the CT side. They don't have any armor in play on Crystal, but he's expendable in a 2 versus 3. Even if he just plays for the information or plays alongside one of his teammates.
Well,
oh no.
Yeah, again. Yeah, Valde, he'll pick up the trade. It's back into the 2v2. Thomas again crossing over the mid doors. It's not safe. The bomb will be very quickly making its way in towards the B bomb site, Mitch. It's got to be the 2v2 retake.
I mean, your B player there being cut off is just so disadvantageous. They've no utility coming back in for this bar. A Molotov in play for Crystal. If he's going to deploy that effectively towards Kirby, he pretty much cuts off any ability for them to go through the window, so it almost serves as a positive for the T side. There goes the molly. It's not going to reach Kirby, though. I think it's a little bit too far out, so he's able to tuck in. The problem is they may now assume that angle to be clear as they push through. Crystal should just be at, and he assumes it to be clear. He thought the Molotov reached it. Kirby's safe, and now you've got that op trying to save. They're going to peek out, but a little bit too late. As Valda not able to catch him, they'll exit towards the tunnels, which means that you should see this op saved forward.
Yeah.
By Sticko, assuming they don't aggress any further.
No, they won't even make it. They'd have to be Sonic to get there fast enough. And the op will get carried over for Sticko. They can carry that on over into play. And on North, they are only 2 runs away from taking the series 2-0. No chance. Really had the advantage into that one and ended up letting it slip as Thomas tried to cross back over. And North will easily take that B-bomb site.
taking the B bomb side and taking a very large stride towards a victory. I mean, just 2 rounds now remaining, and what are we seeing from No Chance? Well, they've got their double up set up and their Augs out, so at least a much better chance at claiming this round. They kept the previous one close, but not close enough that North are struggling for economy, because after winning so many rounds so convincingly, they're stacked up. Kierby's not stacked on health, though. Down to 17 HP, but the shot connected over towards middle by Michael. The other op is lurking, waiting for them. Sticko misses the shot, though, and again, forced off that angle. Now North can close in the distance if they want to, deploying utility over, but as they've no long control just yet, they don't feel like going for it, especially not with one of those short aggressors being Kierby on super low HP. They instead back off and regroup towards the top of middle, leaving one down the bottom, and it looks like they'll be taking long control.
Long looks to be taken by North as they start to move on in. It's one player inside of the pit. Thomas, they'll try and hold off this offensive. It will be easy. Another multiple player attack coming through as Gade will take him away. And Gade looks for another on towards the A-bomb side itself. Yugi tosses the bomb back towards his teammates. 43 seconds left. Smoke deploys towards short. Multiple players on this North team wanting to get it done in towards the A side of the map. The car is going to be mollied and cleared. No one's going to be there, but Kierby coming in with a very traditional Dust 2 lurk. He will cut off the rotation from Zen. Sticko steps into it with the AWP, and it's back into the 3v3. Kierby here on short. Headshot connected. Another man advantage again is with North. The bomb is planted. Yugi picked up Sticko, and Kierby flanks again. It's Michael gone, and it's map and series point here for North.
So No Chance can still get an op out, and indeed they do on Michael, but the rest of the team are going to be struggling to get anything nearly as effective, and a timeout even comes out to coordinate it. This spot is looking bad for No Chance as they need 6 consecutive rounds and have yet to manage that, I venture to say, in this entire series. If not, they've only managed it once. So it's definitely a difficult spot to pull back from, and with how dominant North have looked in the bye rounds, and the fact that it's not a simple case of winning one, getting an eco, and there being 3 full bye rounds between you and an overtime. In this case, North can buy at least 2 times in a row. That's without getting bomb plants down. And with that taken into consideration, I mean, it's difficult to look at No Chance with any favor. Especially with that buy coming through. I mean, 2 MP9s, a FAMAS. It's gonna, a lot of it's hinged around Michael on that AWP, and with Thomas playing so well, now sitting set with 7 opening duels going his way, it's not ideal to have him down there on that FAMAS. And AZ, his competitor, actually 7 for 3 as well. They're all tied up.
Well, this could be it. North with the opening kill into round 25. Could be the last round of this game. Gade able to pick up Thomas. Is certainly looking like North may have just done enough. There's Michael, Sticko, and Crystal, the last men standing for No Chance. But they do have a chance. They have to try and show it here. Sticko moves through the smoke. A very ambitious play, I have to say, as he looks vertically up on top of the Xbox. No one currently there, and Crystal, he's going to have to make this information play. They're starved for insto. He's going to get kicked in the face by Valde. Shot comes through. Michael, the last man alive. And it's into a 1v5. He'll hold the window. I don't think Michael life expectancy is too long here. It looks like North have done enough, and they will be winning this series 2-0 with a 16-9 win here on Dust 2. Well played from North. They have turned up here at the minor qualifiers, and they look to get it done at the minor later on as well.
Well, that's the end of everything, Dinko. I mean, it's been a long day for you as well. You were over doing the CIS stuff and finishing it out with a pretty one-sided series. I guess going as predicted. You can see why some people were very surprised to see No Chance doing so well early on map number 1. But naturally, as the heavy favorites, North walk away with the 2-0, just leaving No Chance flat